Today, we are going to talk about a numerous number of things, but as usual, as we start, we always have something here. Leo tunakunywa the original Coca-Cola itself. No? Very delicious, wonderful. So as I've said today, we are going to talk about a number of things. Number one on the list, as we introduce ourselves, mazee, my name is Aniko, kama kawaida, kama dawa. This is SD podcast na tunaendelea as usual. Here in Kenya, vitu mingi zina happen. Number one, impeachment of Gachagua, a motion that have been going on since the past 2 weeks. There was a public participation forum. There was a parliamentary motion which was passed that Gachagua should be impeached. Then there have been Gachagua thing, this one that Gachagua should be impeached through the Senate, waiting for the one of the courts, and we are going on with those. So we are going to talk about the demons behind our vice presidents in this nation of Kenya, because we've had numerous vice presidents in this nation. Tumekuwa na vice presidents, I think more than 10 so far, with only reigning. We have this like the 5th president with more than 10 vice presidents in one nation. The first 5 vice presidents had issues too with the president. The first 5 vice president was Mzee Jaramogi Oginga Odinga himself. He's the father of the current man who is running for the AU chairmanship, Raila Amolo Odinga. But when he came into politics during the period after we threw away the colonizers, he came in and said that he can't be president. There will not be president in Kenya without Mzee Kenyatta himself. So Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, in his words, insinuated that the person who is fit to be the Kenyan president was none other than Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, and he will be the second man. So Mzee Jomo Kenyatta was released from jail after some runnings with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and so he came up and he was sworn in as the Kenya's first president. And after there, many things erupted. It is said that enmity began because of their differences in ideologies. Inasemekana Jaramogi Oginga Odinga used to support the issue of communism and socialism, while Kenyatta supported the issue of capitalism. And so many other things erupted. There had been wars among, like for example, there was a time when they were opening the Russia hospital in Kisumu. A lot happened. People were killed. There were exchange of words between the then president Kenyatta and the then vice president Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Things skyrocketed. It happened very fast, and at that time there was a very clever young man who was called Tom Mboya, who was actually used to spearhead the way that they are going to remove Jaramogi from power. So Jaramogi ended up resigning, and he became the opposition leader. So from that time, the seat of the vice president, together with the presidents of Kenya, have been having problems. Before I continue, bro, I must say, subscribe, like, share, ring that bell, notification bell, and drink Coca-Cola with me. Tamu sana. So that happened then. Then Jaramogi resigned. Then Moi came in as president after the death of after the death of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Moi was the president. But after Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the next vice president was Joseph Murumbi, then Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. So in the reign of 14 years of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, he had 3 vice presidents, one Jaramogi Oginga. They did not end up their relationship vizuri, so each one of them aliamua kwenda his way. And the next one, Joseph Murumbi, then the next one, Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, who after the death of Kenyatta became the president. Now, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi reigned as vice president for 11 years. Joseph Murumbi reigned as vice president for 120 days. That is like how many months? 4 months, I think. Yeah. And Mzee Jaramogi Oginga was vice president for 1 year, 123 days. Let's say like that's like 1 year and let's say 3 to 4 months. Yeah. Yeah. So those are the days they reigned. Now, when Kenyatta died, Moi now became the president. Became the president according to the then constitution. Then the vice president of Moi was none other than the late president, the late former president of Kenya, Mwai Kibaki himself. So Mwai Kibaki was the first vice president under Moi's regime. Then after that, there was Josephat Karanja. After Josephat Karanja, there was George Saitoti. After George Saitoti, there was Musalia Mudavadi. Now, the one who reigned shortest as vice president was Musalia Mudavadi, who was only vice president for 2 months, 60 days. Yeah. Now, also, there was a time that George Saitoti and Moi did not agree much. And so what happened, George Saitoti was thrown out for some time. So after your time, amethrowaiwa nje, Moi again came back and said that he has forgiven Saitoti, and Saitoti became vice president again. You understand? So the issues that have been happening between the vice presidents and the presidents in this nation of Kenya, they are not new to us. We are used to them. We've been seeing. But what is the problem? What is the demon behind the vice presidents of Kenya? What is hunting our vice presidents? The last president, the former president, the last former president of the nation of Kenya, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the son of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, actually, his vice president was the current president, William Samoei Ruto. Naelewa hivyo. And what happened, William Samoei Ruto, during the second term, things happened. Vitu zili happen. And after that, manze serikali it wasn't the same. We understand kuna msee mwenye alikam akapewa the chief cabinet secretary. Alikuwa anaitwa this guy alikuwa anaitwa nani? I'll remember the name. So when this guy came into place, alikuwa anafanya kazi vizuri, and Uhuru akampea job ya chief cabinet secretary. He diluted kazi ya Ruto. The only thing that Ruto did right is that haku resign. Yeah, he did not resign. He was put aside for a very long time. He was seen as nothing with many people, especially the opposition at that time. During the campaigns, people say that he's already campaigning for himself, na time haijafika. So manze, we know what Ruto passed through. So for these moments za Mr. Gachagua, politics zimekuja too early, and now he's being put out of office. He's being put out of office. There's nothing he can do. Wanajaribu kumimpeach. I don't know stand ya wase. I don't know how we are going to say this. I don't know what we are going to do, but there are things, numerous things that zinaekwa kwake that maybe he's corrupt, he's what. They are tabling evidences. Wanasema violation of the constitution, including promoting ethnic discrimination and undermining national unity through divisive public statements. Hapa hivyo, they quoted the issue where Gachagua stands, and he says, Gachagua stands and says that this government is like a company with shareholders. So this one is actually being used against him. He's also being accused of contradicting government policies and failing to uphold his duties as deputy president, thus violating the principle of collective cabinet responsibility. Yeah. So yeah, this one's Another one is that interferes with devolved county functions, undermining devolution and threatening the judiciary, violating the principle of judicial independence. You see? So he's also accused of failing to respect and defend the Constitution, while his inflammatory remarks allegedly violated the National Cohesion and Integration Act by promoting ethnic hatred. Yeah. The motion also claims that Gachagua engaged in corruption, money laundering, and abuse of office, violating anti-corruption laws. Yeah. Actually, this is one of the fundamental things, apart from hiyo ya kuambiwa ati he's causing division in the nation by his words and sorts of things. Another main thing is that issue of corruption, that is engaged in corruption and money laundering, abuse of office, violating anti-corruption laws. Yeah. Additionally, he's also allegedly accused of motion citing gross misconduct, including reckless attacks on the National Intelligence Service (NIS), insubordination to the president, bullying public officers, and influencing corrupt practices. You see, among other things. These are just the main things that the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, is being accused of. They say akiwa impeach, there are people who are there, and when tukiongea kuhusu corruption, manze, corruption, it is said that if a leader is corrupt, then blame it on the society, because leaders wanatokanga kwa society. Leaders wanatoka kwa society. Leaders come from us. So it is the society first to be cleansed. If anybody anataka kufight corruption, number one, lazima start from the society. Africa at large, we have corrupt leaders because ourselves we are corrupt. If the society is pure, na kuna corruption amongst ourselves, because unapata hata kupata job in a society currently, in this our society currently, it is hard. Lazima utoe hongo. Ukitaka contracts, ukitaka kuengage in business errands, lazima utoe hongo. Ukitaka kupata deals from government institutions, lazima utoe hongo. Even sometimes getting your children to go to schools, lazima utoe pesa. You understand? Yani, it's just corruption in each and every avenue. In fact, even joining the forces, lazima utoe hongo. So it's not about the leaders who are corrupt, it's about the society where the leaders are coming from. So number one thing that we should cleanse is the society, because a leader reflects the society. Yeah? Whoever ataikuwa hapo juu, because I know Gachagua maybe too is just ni mtu, maybe is a scapegoat, unanipata? Yeah. Maybe Gachagua is just a scapegoat. And on that matter, kuna wase wengi, because wanataka atoke, so they brought up these issues. And money inatumika, money is being used, his lawyers are being paid, these sessions, the parliament, this public participation will happen, these sessions, the parliament, the session of the Senate, zote, they cost money. So what for? Because if even the president himself, akichunguzwa sahi, there's a very slim possibility that hatapatwa na corruption. Yeah, any person who is in government right now, starting from the ward reps, to the members of parliaments, to the senates, to the women reps, to the governors, to all of them, even the CSS, all of them, if they start prompting them, what I realize, they have corrupt deals that are following them. They are corrupted to the core. This shit is everywhere in the society. I believe for us to fight corruption effectively, lazima tuanze from the society. Hii Gachagua imekuwa tu, I think pia I don't know what demon is behind the deputy presidents and the vice presidents in our nation that inafikanga tu mahali and things don't happen. The only president who reigned properly without problems between him and his vice presidents was only one, the late former president Mwai Kibaki. Mwai Kibaki never had problems with any of his vice presidents. You see, because his first vice president, kijana wa Malwa died. You see, and after he died, the one who took over was Mudi Awori, and Mudi Awori took over until the first term of Moi's regime was over. You understand? There were no ish. There were no arguments between the presidents and these vice presidents. There were no corruption allegations. There was nothing against the vice presidents. And Mudi Awori was a good vice president, and he worked very well. And even currently, the jail reforms that were made. You understand, when you're in prisons, the prison reforms, prison buses are now there. The prisoners are being educated. They are being given good food. I don't know if they are being given good food. I don't know, but all the same, there are reforms that happen. There are reforms that happen because of the former vice president Mudi Awori. Then Kalonzo Musyoka came in after Mudi Awori in Kibaki's second term, and there were no problems between the vice presidents of the late Mwai Kibaki. He's the only president who ruled well with all his vice presidents. The first president, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, I've already told you, he had his vice president, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, kicked out. The second one too. Then the next one, Moi came the president after the death of Kenyatta, and so even Moi himself as president had lots of problems with his vice presidents until he died. Until he went out of office. You understand? After reigning for 24 good years. And so after him now Kibaki came. Now after Kibaki, who reigned well with these vice presidents, comes Uhuru. With the first time they were darlings. Uhuru and Ruto were best of friends. They were like brother. They called each other my brother this, my brother this. They wore the same clothings, the same shoes. They were walking, holding hands together during the inauguration ceremony. What happened there? What happened? You understand? I would like, if Ruto is behind this Gachagua's impeachment, I'd like him to remember what happened to him too. You understand? What happened to him too. Yeah, and because of what happened to him is what made him to be sympathized with, because some of the people voted for Ruto because of the sympathies that he got when Uhuru ditched him. You understand? And now Uhuru began to campaign even for Raila. So the friendship, the brotherhood between Uhuru and Ruto just died like that and went missing like that and never reoccurred again, even once. So that is what happened in the former government until now. It is Ruto versus the current vice president, deputy president Gachagua, and we don't know how it's going to end. Understand? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how the courts will rule. Yeah, we don't know how the courts will rule. You understand? Now, going ahead, leaving along all these demons with the deputy presidents and the vice presidents, I don't know. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about corruption, but as young people in this nation of Kenya, tomorrow, not even tomorrow, even currently, when we are coming into offices, because that motion, that saying that we are the leaders of tomorrow must come to an end. We are the leaders of today. We are the leaders of now. We are the leaders of right now. So we need to take things, and when we come into the government, when we take the leadership, and God helps us to be there in the supreme seat, let us start now by ensuring that amongst us there is no corruption, because corruption begins with us. and we are the ones who can eradicate corruption. Before one of us goes to the state house and becomes the president, or one of us goes to the county states and becomes the governor, let us fight corruption within us. Let us stop being corrupt, number one. Because when Kenyatta and Oginga Odinga took power, they said we have three diseases eating us. Number one disease was ignorance. Number two, they said was illiteracy, and number three, they say was poverty. You see, right now we have high levels of poverty. This is where we come about talking about 10 millionaires and 10 million poor people. You understand? So poverty have never been eradicated. When they came into power, they divided grand plots of lands for them and their families. You understand? So poverty remained an issue. You understand? Let's come to the issue of ignorance. What makes us not fight these issues of corruption if it is not ignorance? What makes us indulge, even our leaders to indulge in such kind of issues if it is not ignorance? You understand? Even though we've been able to try to fight illiteracy, illiteracy is dwelling amongst us in the highest level, in that we are not illiterate enough to understand one another as brothers and sisters, because these three diseases are prone diseases that have been eating us since colonial eras and are eating us still now. And then we've added to them tribalism and corruption, amongst other things. You understand? The question to us as young people that we should put into action is that how can we end and kill the demon of tribalism? Because tribalism is paramount in our nation. We cannot ignore the fact. We cannot ignore the fact that there is tribalism in the land. We cannot ignore it. So no matter how we say we are not tribal, we know deep down what we feel. Even right now, they are saying when Gachagua goes, maybe Waiguru will come in, maybe so and so will come, no? Maybe our man will come from this place. So every person is having their own idea. When will we destroy tribalism? So there are things that we should come out with clear ways on how we can destroy. Number one is poverty. Number two is tribalism. Number three is corruption. You see, corruption. These things are eating us, young men and women, the Gen Zs, the millennials. These things are eating us. This weekend, we are going to have Mashujaa Day. Yeah, we are going to have Mashujaa Day. On what basis? Who is a Shujaa? Who are we going to celebrate right now? You understand? This Shujaa Day used to be Kenyatta Day. You understand? Then it was changed to the Mashujaa Day. And so, Mashujaa Day, we are going to celebrate Mashujaa Day, yet our country is confused. We don't know what to do with our deputy president. You understand? We are just there as people. What are we going to do as a people? What are we going to do as a people? Now, if at all there's going to be another another celebration for the Gen Zs at Uhuru Park, as I've heard Eric Omondi say, what are we going? I would like us during that celebration of the young people, we analyze issues that are affecting our nations. Let us not try politicizing things. Let us try to come with clear solutions for our nation. Yeah. A little bit break for that. Actually, I've realized that Trump is getting great support from the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, and some other billionaires in terms of dollars. I don't know what will happen. Talking about billionaires in Africa, the question that I keep on asking us as Africans, why are we lagging behind? You understand? Because we are lagging behind in technology, we are lagging behind in many things, technology, food safety, health, because even our leaders, when they are sick, they will travel abroad to go to be treated. You see, that means that in Africa, even in health matters, we are lagging behind to consumer. So what do we do about these things? You understand? The richest man in Africa Eliko Dangote is, I think, worth $18 billion. Yeah, but the richest man in the world is worth about $218 billion. You understand? So I wonder that's a whole margin. It's not even among the top 10 richest men in the world, the richest men in Africa. So instead of fighting one another, instead of seeing how we can seize power and how we can put our favorites on the throne, why don't we always unite so that we may see how we can make wealth for ourselves, how we can move ahead in unity, how we can destroy tribalism, how we can destroy corruption, how we can destroy poverty, how we can destroy things like illiteracy and ignorance, and how we can move on so that even us we can be on the top league. Understand? I won't be able to say on which side I am, whether I'm supporting Rigiji or I'm supporting Samoe or I'm supporting who or no. I won't say that. But what I will say is that, man, as young people, it's high time we unite. As young people, it's high time we see what we want, how we want it to be done. Understand? That's a whole lot of things we need to check about as young people in our nation. I hope that if at all this Sunday we are going to have that our thing at Uhuru Park, I believe it's going to be peaceful and all that. Last time I was having in the other podcast with my friend Lynette, she was saying that Gen Zs are brave, and bravery is not something new. There have been people who have been brave and they were murdered, and their bravery resulted into nothing. I believe that our bravery can result into something. We can make sure that our nation changes. We can make sure that our brothers and sisters that are coming after us live in a good world. Live in a good world. A better one than the one we are in. Yeah? Than the one we are in, Manze. We need such kind of things to happen. And even if it is leadership, hata kama ni leadership tunahitaji who a leader mwenye atakaa hapo, even if Gachagua goes and somebody else is to come, let us also as young people have say in that place. Even Christians, let us also even as Christians have say in that. Let us also as people who know God have a say in who is going to be the next. Because let us not be tribal. Let us not divide ourselves in ethnic capacities. Let us also go to the issue of integrity. As I have said, the issue of integrity comes from the society. The leaders in our nation are a reflection of our society. When their leadership is a rotten kind of a leadership, it's because the society is a rotten society. When our leaders are leaders who don't care, they only care about their families, because one of the issues that Gachagua is being accused of is corruption, and is being accused that he has been able to buy properties for his families, hotels and all that. For his, it is said it's worth, I think, 5 point something billion. But what I'm stating is that what if we get people who are integral, very much full of integrity, to an extent that they say, I'd rather die poor but to see my nation work. Understand? Let us build that society. Hii kitu inaanza na hii generation. Build a wall that says no to tribalism, but oneness and unity. You see? Peace, love and unity. Peace, love and unity. Peace, love and unity. Our national anthem is a prayer. Inasemanga, O God of all creation. Understand? That's how it starts. See? O God of all creation, bless this our land and nation. But if God is to bless this land, our nation, we must be ready to embrace his blessings. And I believe his blessings are not tribalism. His blessings are not ethnicity. His blessings are not illiteracy. His blessings are not poverty. His blessings, no. His blessings are oneness and unity. Because even the Bible says that where there is unity, God commands his blessings. Manzejo, that's what I'd like to say for today. And as we continue, Manze, what I'd like to tell us again and again, as I always say, share, subscribe, hit that bell, let it ring whenever we share something, Manze. We are gonna do it every single day. This is a solo podcast, as I promised, and as I promised, we are going to bring solo podcasts, and we are going to Melody in a bang. Just share it to as many people as possible. Share it to as many people as possible. Like it. Continue seeing. Continue subscribing to this channel. Support us pia, please, tunaweza. Yeah, support us pia, please, tunaweza. Now, as we continue from this shit of these nations, whatever, I also like to talk about the things we've talked about lastly. A little bit about what we talked in the last two podcasts. Number one, we talked about relationships and partnership. What do I have to say lightly about that? I would like to say that it's wise to be in a relationship, but the question that you should ask yourself when you're getting into that relationship is, why am I in this relationship? Number one, why am I in this relationship? Number two, am I of any worth in this relationship? Because you can be in a relationship and you're not supporting in anything, you're just there. You understand? Yeah. You will ask yourself, why am I this in the relationship, and what is my worth in this? Usikule msee mwenye unaambiwa twende out, unaomba fare, unaambiwa twende lunch place fulani, what you cannot even afford fare. If that guy decides to live in that place, ama that lady decides to live in that place, my God, utakuwa stuck. Yeah, you'll be stuck over there. So in terms of relationship policy, ask yourself, what is your worth? Worth yako ni gani? What is your worth in that relationship? What are you contributing in that relationship? What are you doing to make sure that that relationship works? Are you a bag, a bed bag? When it phones yeah, you are contributing something towards that relationship. Understand? Because for relationship to work is a two-way thing. Kila mtu lazima atoe something, aweke pamoja for it to grow. Secondly, for it to grow, for a plant to grow, lazima what? How am I watering the relationship? In this way, communication is important. Lazima mu keep on communicating from time to time. Lazima kuwe na communication in any single relationship. Understand? Yeah. Don't fake it. That's another thing. Don't fake it when you're in a relationship. Don't fake that you love that person you don't. If you don't, get out of that relationship. If you see it's not working, get out of that relationship. Somebody was talking about toxic relationship. No. How can it work if it is toxic? You see? Yeah, you'll end up dying. This is where I've had some men kill their women, because the woman saw that this relationship is toxic, yet hangetoka, yako tu hapo, anapigwa na ako hapo, anapigwa na ako hapo. If it is toxic, it's not advisable. It's not advisable. Because if this guy will beat and you're just in a relationship, what if you get married? You know, if this lady will be toxic towards you and you're just in a relationship, what if you get married? Yeah. So in any single relationship, make sure it is not toxic. You are not getting hurt. Never get hurt. Before you love someone else, love yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Even Christ said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Yeah. So in a relationship, don't allow usijaribu. Don't allow toxicity to manipulate your relationship. Number two, fight for your relationship. Don't fight with one another. Don't fight with your spouse. Fight to make sure that it works. If at all it is worth it. After we analyze it is worth it, fight for it and make sure it stands. Understand? Yeah, because there are things that are not worth fighting for, but there are things that are worth fighting for. Things that you cannot leave. Things that are, you see their importance. Another thing that you should see in a relationship, and you should know the purposes of the person that you're dating. You're not just dating for the sake of dating. You're not just in a relationship for the sake of relationship. What is the purpose of this guy? Does he even have a purpose in life? Does she even have a purpose in life? Yeah. If that person doesn't have a purpose in life, then where are you going? Every person in that relationship should have a purpose, and for it to work, you should connect your purposes, so that as you grow, you also help each other grow your purposes. Your purposes should be at least intermingled and into oneness. You see, so that as you grow in that relationship, it is something that is growing and your purposes are being achieved. It is not just a relation that this one, when he leaves in the morning, this one leaves in the morning, everyone comes with different challenges in the evening that you cannot communicate, you cannot share your challenges, you cannot help each other solve them. You understand? But if at all you join your purposes together and you work pamoja, when you come back in the evening, you say, it was this why I received these challenges at work. Oh, this one can be solved this way, because you already have put your challenge, your purposes together. They are like one. You see? hmm About personalities, because we also talked about personalities. You say people have different personalities. Yeah. At that time, you also said how personalities also affect relationships. You can go back to that video and check it out. It is called personalities and relationships. Yeah. Yeah. If you check it out, you realize we talked greatly deep. We did not talk about only about the relationship between a woman and a man. We talk about parenting and also, but we say that even the issue of parenting, we shall come back and discuss on it further. Yeah. So about her personalities, what I like to say on that is that your personality can be worked on. You see, if you don't like your personality or the person that you've grown to become, you can work on your personality. Number one way of working on your personality is by looking out on someone. You can choose a role model, somebody who you always look up to, somebody who makes you happy. You see, somebody whom you like to become like. You understand? Somebody who you see your dream in him already fulfilled. If, for example, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a successful lawyer, and I don't like my personality, I can look up to someone, try to get what are his values, what are his personalities, because you can work out your personality and make sure you have a different personality, a greater personality than the personality that you have right now. You get what I'm saying? So if you have a personality that you don't like, you can actually work on it and make it much more better than it is right now. Okay, so personality can be worked on. Personality can be worked on. That's one of the way. Two, you can also start relating with people whom you think can help your personality. You see, for example, if you're sitting around people who are not helping your personality, and all of you are mediocres, you'll continue being mediocres. But if you start mingling and talking to people who you see their mindset are the same as yours, you see, you will grow your mindset. Your mindset will grow and you'll be what you want to become. Get what I'm saying? So personalities matter, and when personalities as I've said, can be changed and can be altered for the best and for the good of the person who wants that kind of a personality, the way you groom your personality matters. So these are the ways. We are living at a time of great technologies, the time of media, social media, you see, and For that reason, you can just go to social media and see different personalities, see different people. There are people who, when they were growing up, they were down, they could not nurture their personality, they were just nothing until now. When they grew up, now they, you see, they change their personalities. There, I have friends who, when we were growing up, man, they never looked like people who will make it or people who can be anything. But when they grew up, you sensed and you can see a different kind of a personality in them. You understand? So the other video that we also shared is the video on traditions, the X generation, the Gen Zs and the millennials, the differences in the generations of old and the generation of this time. You can go and watch it. Yeah, as usual, my name is Aniko and I am your amigos. So continue watching, continue subscribing, support us. If at all you want to support us, our numbers will be running there. Send anything. We want to do great things. We're going to have a great studio very soon. So help us and continue tagging and sharing and liking and subscribing as much as possible. Thank you very much. Yeah.